Fire your entire team by Monday, or I'll do it for you. She said it like she was reading a grocery list, no hesitation, no flicker of doubt. Her tone, calm, managerial, absolute. We stood in my office, though technically it wasn't mine anymore. She'd just been appointed as the new regional manager, my wife, my replacement. I remember how her perfume mixed with the sterile air of the conference floor, familiar yet suddenly foreign. She smiled, touched my desk like it was already hers, and said, "We need a leaner operation, Cameron. You've been too sentimental." I nodded quietly, not because I agreed, but because I wanted her to think I did. She thought she'd won something that day. She didn't notice how I looked at her, the same way I'd studied her emails late at night, the new passwords she changed, the way she started locking her phone when she used to leave it face up. I didn't ask why. I didn't need to, because deep down, I already knew. She wasn't firing my team. She was cutting out my control. And what she didn't know was this: they weren't just my team. They were my company. It began 3 months earlier, small, precise betrayals disguised as management adjustments. First, she requested my project reports directly. Then she started holding alignment meetings without inviting me. The new director of operations, her old college friend, suddenly appeared at every strategic session. Then, one evening, I caught a whisper in the office corridor. "She's taking his division by Q4. That's the plan." I didn't confront her. I just listened. At home, she smiled the same, kissed the same, pretended the same. But her laptop stayed open a few seconds too long. Her eyes lingered on her messages too quietly. There's something about betrayal. It doesn't start with the act itself. It starts with how easily someone lies to you while looking directly into your eyes. She thought I didn't notice her new confidence, the way she dressed sharper, laughed louder, her voice firm in front of my subordinates. But I saw it all, and every gesture became a piece of evidence. I didn't react. I just started watching. Friday nights became my quiet hours. While she was working late, I began reconstructing the company's structure from home. Every contract, every share, every clause I'd ever signed. When she married me, she never cared to ask why I insisted my name remain on every partnership deed. She thought it was my ego. It wasn't. It was foresight. The team she planned to fire, finance, operations, logistics, they weren't just employees. They were shareholders, silent partners, each holding a fraction of my original company, under my trust. Every termination she was planning would require my approval. Still, I said nothing. I let her walk into her own fire. Saturday morning, she left early for a management retreat. Her car left the driveway at 8:17 a.m. sharp. 10 minutes later, I logged into the internal server. Her emails to the board were already there, sent from her official ID. Subject line: Restructuring Proposal, Phase 1, Termination Plan. Attached, my team's names and mine. I stared at that list. My own name, typed by the woman who shared my bed. My hand didn't shake. I just smiled, coldly, because by the time she hit send, the board had already received another email, sent from me the night before. Monday morning, she walked into the boardroom wearing her authority like armor. A fitted blazer, steady steps, that polished confidence I once admired. "Good morning, everyone," she said, setting down her folder. "We'll begin with the restructuring review." The directors nodded. I sat at the far end of the table, silent, observing. She began her presentation, slides of numbers, graphs, projections. The words inefficiency and overstaffing repeated like a chant. Then she paused, looked at me. "Cameron understands the direction we're taking," she said, forcing a smile. "He's agreed to—" "Actually," I interrupted, my voice calm, "I didn't." The room shifted. She blinked. Excuse me? I slid a document across the table. Minutes from last week's emergency board session, I said, where we voted to replace the regional manager role, effective today. Silence. She frowned, flicking through the pages. Then her face went white. The signatures, every one of them, already there. I leaned back, watching her fingers tremble. You see, I said quietly, you weren't wrong about the team being loyal, just not to you. Her breath caught. You can't. But I could. And I had. The chairman looked at me, puzzled. You mean this was pre-approved? I nodded. All by the books. Filed through the holding group that owns this branch, which, incidentally, I paused, let the silence hum, is me. A soft gasp escaped her. The color drained from her face completely. You never asked what I did after the merger, did you? I said, my tone almost kind. You thought I was just another manager. I stood, straightened my jacket. Fire them by Monday or I'll do it for you, I repeated, mimicking her voice. You should have checked who signs your paycheck first. She looked at me, disbelief melting into horror. Then, slowly, humiliation. When she spoke, her voice cracked. Cameron, please, don't. I turned away, calm as marble. I'd already stripped her of everything she used to control. Authority, illusion, pride. And the beautiful irony was this. I never raised my voice. I never threatened. I simply let the truth walk into the room and take its seat beside her. They escorted her out of the boardroom that afternoon. No shouting, no tears, just silence. She didn't look back. Neither did I. When I returned to my office, her perfume still lingered faintly on the desk. I opened the window, letting the wind erase it. For years, I believed loyalty was built on love. Now I know it's built on leverage. The board congratulated me, offered handshakes, smiles, respect. But I didn't feel triumph, just clarity. Somewhere deep inside, I realized she didn't just betray me. She reminded me who I really was. Cold, calculating, and finally awake. I left her ID card on the table before walking out. By Monday afternoon, her name was already removed from the system, and as the door closed behind me, I whispered, "Lean enough for you now?"